Hello, my name is Jared Berger, and I'm going to be telling you a story of the Krakatoa Eruption of 1883. On August 26, 1883, on the Krakatoa Island on the Sunda Strait in Indonesia, the convergence of the Indo-Australian Plate and the Eurasian Plate created a large subduction zone to occur. This unrest in these two plates created a large crack to appear on the surface of the Krakatoa geological feature, which allowed for high pressure water to spew magma, dust, and other particles from the top of the feature, making the volcano. On the right, you can see that it's located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. It's also close to the Alphide Belt, which is the second most active region for volcanoes. And to really put the map into perspective, you can see the two subduction zones occurring right around the fault zone at Krakatoa, right around here. And yeah, this was the main reason for the disturbance and the eruption to even take place. The human impact of the eruption was huge. Approximately 36,000 people died. Most of these were from the seismic waves caused by the eruption. The initial sea wave was approximately 120 feet tall and took out 165 coastal villages on the nearby islands of Java and Sumatra. As you can see on the right, that's a depiction of that initial seawall, and there's just complete chaos in the community, people running for their lives, and definitely a lot of casualties. Only about 10% of the death toll was from the spewing ash from the volcano, the pumice rock coming out of the volcano and all the debris. The entire town of Merrick was also destroyed as a result, and one of the more interesting things I found was that it created amazing sunsets, which was actually surprisingly impactful to the human race. Many artists were paid to sketch these sunsets because of their pure beauty, and actually you'll see later on it inspired many famous paintings. The environmental impact was also massive from this. As you can see straight off from the right, the old summit created a crater or a caldera, and it was just a complete destruction of the Krakatoa feature in general. Dust, ash, and rock particles were sent 40 kilometers into the sky, which definitely was not helpful for the atmosphere. It also created 3 days of complete darkness in the vicinity, in the surrounding islands, and in Indonesia. It also took 5 years for plant and animal life to reappear on the island, and it's still not to its full form that it ever was. And global temperature is actually lowered by 1.2 degrees Celsius, which I thought was interesting because it acted as a heat wave, with all the hot particles being sent in the air. It acted as a heat wave and actually lowered the temperatures by 1.2 degrees Celsius, or approximately 34 degrees Fahrenheit, which is massive. Some fun facts is that Krakatoa inspired some of the most amazing paintings, including the scream depicted on the right. As you can see on the top of the painting, there are beautiful depictions of blues, reds, oranges, purples, and these were some of the typical colors you would have seen from the Krakatoa eruption all around the world. Apparently, the sunsets were amazing, and I thought it was interesting that although it had a huge impact on the people surrounding the island in terms of casualties and destruction, it actually had a huge impact globally as it created these beautiful sunsets for artists to draw. Also, Indonesia has the most volcanoes out of any country, and rocks were found 2 years later in the water by sailors, actually. The pumice rock was found floating there, and these sailors discovered it, and it was found that it was indeed from the Krakatoa eruption. And lastly, it was the loudest sound recorded in history. And here are my website and image sources. I hope you enjoyed the story.